What's going on, guys? Before I start this Raw review, I just have a few things to say. Apparently, I got 7 subscribers tonight, so that's pretty sweet. Um, Gained 7 subscribers tonight. I don't know how, from what, or what, but thanks to whoever subscribed. That's awesome. 7 new ones in one night. Now, if we could keep that up and every night, I'll be up there in no time. But that's not gonna happen. But nonetheless, of course, I'm gonna have another gameplay video for you guys tomorrow. Eventually, I'll have a unboxing sometime on a BTO T-shirt whenever that gets here. And I'm actually doing WWE 2K16 My Career on my Facebook page. If you don't know, link in the description. Main Event Gaming. Second E is always a 3. Go check that out. I post pretty much every segment that I have in WWE 2K16 with my commentary during it. And at times it can be pretty funny, but I mean I have a lot of badass matches on there. Especially like out of time. Spoiler alert if you watch them. I actually won the NXT Championship finally, and it was against Kevin Owens in an insane 5-star match. I'm not gonna spoil anything exactly what happened in the match, but it was insane. But anyways, thanks to the 7 new subscribers, and now time to start the Raw review. And Raw's tonight was incredible. If you can tell anything from the thumbnail, the Brothers of Destruction are back, and I'll get to that at the end of the review. But to kick things off tonight on Raw, we had Triple H come out. It's time to play the game. I just had to do that. But Triple H comes down to the ring, and he cuts a promo and basically says, yeah, thank you to Seth Rollins for what you've did over the past. I knew there was a reason I picked you. You're still the man. No one could beat you. You laid down every one of your path. The only thing that could take you down is injury. Triple H cut a great promo throughout the whole first 30, 40 minutes of the show. He was out there for forever. But great promo. Then he says that there's going to be a 16-man, not 6-man, 6-man tag. There's going to be a 16-man tournament over the next couple weeks to determine the winners, and the 2 finalists in the tournament will fight each other at Survivor Series for the championship. And then he says that um, there's always only one thing that kept him from picking Seth Rollins instead of Roman Reigns to represent the Authority. And then he called down Roman Reigns and told him that Seth Rollins had the will to do anything it took to win and to get the victory. And that's the one trait that Roman didn't have. And he basically, oh god, my nose is fucked up. But he basically offered Roman a spot in the Authority and to be their man now since Seth was gone. And Roman basically said, I have too much respect for myself to accept this. I want to earn my right to be called champion, not have it given to me. And then Triple H says, well, there's the reason exactly why I picked Seth Rollins over you. And then says, have fun, buddy. Your starting match is next. And by the way, great, phenomenal promo by Triple H. I ain't going to go through it all. But Roman Reigns only said about 10 words in this promo. But Triple H was able to keep it interesting because that's how good on the mic he is. He carried Roman Reigns for the first 30 minutes of the show just with a great promo with Roman just standing there like this. So, I mean, great job from Triple H there. And Roman kicks off the show in the first tournament match against the Big Show. So we get some good news at the starting. Or not good news, that's bad news that Seth Rollins is hurt. But we get a cool promo at the starting. And then it gets shit all over by the return of the Big Show. And this match wasn't bad. Roman Reigns hit a sick freaking he usually does that drive-by apron drop kick with the guy like in the middle rope, like leaning over the middle rope. Well, Big Show is leaning on the top rope, and he just runs across the apron and jumps up in midair and hits him with it. I thought that was great. That was cool as shit. Props to Roman for being able to do that. That was cool as shit. And he ends up ending the match with a Superman punch into a spear. Boring ending, but it was a great match. I mean, you expected Roman to win anyways, so just give it that. Then moving on after that, we had Kevin Owens for some reason taking on Titus O'Neil in another qualifying match. Why the fuck is Titus in it? Just like we'll talk about how Kalisto is going to fight Ryback on SmackDown for a contendership. We all know who's going to win that one. Or like freaking we've got King Barrett versus Neville for the 500th time. Or we had later on tonight, spoiler alert, Tyler Breeze versus Dean Ambrose. I'm pretty sure we all knew who was win that. Although at one point I did get confused on who was going to win. But and then also on SmackDown we've got Stardust in a match against Alberto Del Rio, and we all know who's going to win that one too. So I just love these one-sided matches. This match was boring as shit, to be honest. Kevin Owens had a hilarious promo beforehand, though, talking about how the England fans are stupid because they follow orders of a queen. I love that. Kevin Owens did great there with that promo. But Kevin Owens ends up winning with the pop-up powerbomb. Unlike against when he fought Max Fatal in WWE 2K16 My Career for the NXT Championship and lost to me cleanly 1-2-3. Kevin Owens wins with the pop-up powerbomb here. Nothing real big here. Kevin Owens moves on. So now we have Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens moving on to the next round of the tournament. They keep saying or quarterfinals, but that's not quarterfinals. Quarterfinals means it's down to 4 people, right? Or no, maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, that would be quarterfinals. I'm an idiot. Okay, never mind. They went down to the quarterfinals. Then after that, we got a Paige interview backstage, and she says basically that she's going to beat down Becky tonight because she'll be fighting Becky. And she says she's going to take care of the B tonight, and then she's going to move on to take care of Baby Flair, the C. And that was a great promo from Paige. I don't know if that was too PG, but a bunch of little kids won't understand it anyways. But in other words, she called Becky a bitch, and she called Charlotte a cunt, if you don't understand. But, yeah, then we get Becky Lynch taking on Paige. This was a decent match. I didn't have a problem with it. It was fresh, it was new, but the crowd the whole time was shitting on it. They were chanting, "This is boring." Well, one fucker was. He was screaming it, and it was really annoying. So when someone chants that, that takes the match down. So fuck you to whoever was chanting that. But this was a decent match. Paige ends up going. She hits the rampage on Becky out of nowhere, and then gets a 2 count. Becky grabs the ropes, which I was surprised. I thought the match was over then. And then Paige goes to roll up Becky Lynch after Becky goes for some move. I can't remember what it was. She pulls her tights or her skirt or whatever. And apparently, from the looks of it, she pulled it up a little too far on one side, and the crowd got a glimpse of Becky's arse. But she is the last kicker. But I mean, nonetheless. And then Becky reverses it and rolls up Paige and grabs the tights. Becky gets the win, the first of many roll-up wins tonight, which was terrible. That was the only bad part about Raw. Like, more than half the matches were just roll-up pins, but whatever. Becky ends up winning. Then Paige attacks her afterwards, locks her in the PTO, Paige tap out, on the announcer's table. JBL's like, "Oh my god, no, on the announcer's table." What difference does it make? Did she knock over your pop or something? Did she tear up your notes? Well, Jerry's the one that carries notes, and he's not on Raw, so no problem there. Did she rough up your cowboy hat or something? I mean, Cesaro was wearing it later in the night, but that makes no difference whether it's on the announcer's table or not, besides it would have made a cool thumbnail, besides for the main event that I had to make that the thumbnail. Because, I mean, that's obvious that had to be the thumbnail. But nonetheless, then Charlotte comes out, runs down to the ring, gets Paige to run off out into the crowd. That's the end of that segment. Charlotte tends to Becky. Moving on. Then after that, we get the match of the night that I skipped. Dolph Ziggler taking on The Miz. Nothing happened here. We all know I hate Dolph Ziggler, spaghetti head fucker, and The Miz the most boring wrestler on the planet. He's awful. Well, that match was probably terrible. I mean, Dolph Ziggler won with a super kick, one of the only matches of the night to not end with a freaking roll up. So props to him on not ending it with a roll up, I guess. But other than that, moving on. After that, we get a Zeb Coulter promo, and he's bashing the English fans, saying they're all haters, and basically hyping up for his match on SmackDown. Well, Alberto Del Dorito's match, where he is facing off against Stardust. And this match is probably going to be dumb. I hate Alberto. Stardust is eh. So, yeah, but that's about the most good match to look forward to on SmackDown. So SmackDown's not going to be very good this week, FYI. But moving on after that, we got Natalya taking on Naomi, the leader of Team Bad, apparently, according to Natalya or whatever. And this match was really slow paced. Natalya's boring as shit in the ring. I can say that a million times over because it's the truth. She's boring as shit. When she tried to lock in the sharpshooter tonight, she completely failed. That was after the match, but still. She failed her own freaking finishing maneuver. Cesaro can lock it in perfect every time, and he gets all these weird ways to lock it in. And then Natalya just straight up locks it in, and she fails the fuck out of it. So, yeah. Natalya ends up winning with a roll-up. Nothing big here. I'm assuming the way they're going with this is she'll be facing Sasha next week on Raw. And Sasha will be the one to beat her out of Team Bad. And then that will farther prolong the feud between Naomi and Sasha, which I'm assuming is coming up here soon. So, but other than that, nothing big here. Natalya picks up a win with a roll-up. Another roll-up match. 2 roll-up wins in a row. Great. Well, no, because we had the Dolph Ziggler match, but I didn't watch that. So it's 2 roll-ups in a row for me. But moving on after that, we had Sheamus taking on Cesaro. Match of the night by far. It wasn't my favorite match of the night, just because of the superstars in it. I mean, I like Cesaro and Sheamus, but Dean Ambrose and Tyler Breeze was obviously my favorite match, superstar-wise. But this was the best match of the night, easily. Cesaro, House of Fire here tonight. Him and Sheamus are always awesome. Yeah. They had this guy, William Rooney or something like that, some guy for one of the football teams. What was it, Manchester? No, it wasn't Manchester. That's the team they fought. I don't know. Maybe it was Manchester. Yeah, it was Manchester. And apparently him and Barrett are going to have a feud now, so there's going to be like another celebrity feud or something. I don't know. Barrett just seems like always gets thrown in these celebrity feuds. Tough luck for him. But like I said, Cesaro had an amazing match tonight. Shit, I can't even remember the shit that he pulled off in this match, but it was insane. Sheamus ended up freaking catching him out of midair when he went for that twisting uppercut, which was ridiculous. And fuck, what did he catch him in? I remember he caught him out of midair in white noise. That's what it was. He caught him out of midair and put him in the white noise, and got a close 2 count. Sheamus also earlier in the match, I think, went for the brogue kick. Cesaro actually ducked it, caught his feet, and locked him in the sharpshooter, which was insane. Cesaro and Sheamus, they could have rivalries every freaking night, just like Dean and Seth, I think, and I would love it. Because they just put on awesome matches. Cesaro knocking Sheamus clean over the freaking barricade out there, that running uppercut. It was ridiculous. Cesaro went all the way out in the crowd. They got a close 9 count. They both got back in the ring. Distractions here and there. Cesaro winning with a ridiculous roll-up pin. Once again, another roll-up pin win. But like Cesaro can even make a roll-up pin cool. Like he done some flippy roll-up pin where he hooked his arm and then did this shit and that shit. But it's ridiculous what Cesaro does. But he also reversed that Irish Curse backbreaker, like done a backflip out of it, landed on his feet and hit an Alpamare water slide. Or Alpump. I don't know how you say it, but he hit that ridiculous huge move where he picks him up and slams him. But yeah, for sure match of the night. That was easily a 5 out of 5 star match, so yeah, you need to watch that one. But after that, we get Tyler Breeze interview backstage after Dean Ambrose has already came down to the ring. So apparently Tyler's just wanting to waste more time. He's back there taking more selfies with a selfie stick, making sure his hair's on point and everything. And then Renee Young's backstage, and she basically goes up, gives him an interview, and tells him that 4 wins in a row, you could be WWE champion. This is your debut. How do you feel about that? And he's like, well, the WWE needs a beautiful, a super gorgeous face, a super good looking face like mine as champion. And then he goes on to tell Renee to back off because she's an uggo. And then Summer Rae is back there, and she's like, well, Dean Ambrose, have you seen the tank tops he wears? They are totally make him look like a hobo. And I'm just sitting there thinking, Summer Rae, shut your bitch ass up. I don't want to hear you. You are fucking annoying. Just shut up. But then Tyler Breeze comes down to the ring. They have a pretty dang good match. It would have been a lot better if I didn't have to listen to that little stupid Super Cena fucker fan sitting in the front row, that little bastard kid, just sitting there screaming at Tyler Breeze the whole time. This is what you get for touching Dolph Ziggler. He can't even say his last name. It's so freaking annoying. But Dean Ambrose ends up winning with a roll-up pin. I don't know how I feel about that, but there was a bunch of roll-up pins back and forth throughout this match, which was ridiculous. They had a point where they're just doing roll-ups back and forth, which is pretty cool. Tyler Breeze had a phenomenal freaking debut match. So, I don't know. He had that cool freaking twisting backstabber type maneuver that he hit at the big pay-per-view against Apollo Crews, the NXT TakeOver. But it was a great match nonetheless. Nothing really too big to say about this besides Dean Ambrose won by a roll-up for some reason. And Dean Ambrose will be taking on Dolph Ziggler next week on Raw. As well as Roman Reigns will be taking on Cesaro, which is going to be a phenomenal match. Everyone's going to want to see that because that's going to be awesome. So, yeah. Moving on after that, we've got the New Day. And they're cutting a promo. Oh, Manchester, don't you dare be sour. Clap for your world-famous 2-time champs and feel the power. The New Day comes down to the ring. They cut a hilarious promo saying that this match is going to be for their fallen captain, their team captain of Team Rollins, Seth Rollins, the man. So throw up your unicorn magic unless you live in England, because unicorn magic in England is garbage. So just remember that. If you live in England, don't throw up that, because your unicorn magic is garbage. But they end up fighting the team of Neville and the Usos, and this was a decent match. This was back and forth. This was pretty cool. Neville hit a ridiculous flippy move. Like, it wasn't a regular moonsault. It was like some twisting shit onto everyone outside. It just looked ridiculous. Neville almost hit his head on the freaking apron. So that would have been bad. But this match was good. Like I said, nothing really big to say in it. Besides, Neville goes for the red arrow. Big E causes a distraction, knocks Neville off the top rope. Xavier Woods picks up the pin via roll-up. He had his feet on the ropes. So, yeah, another roll-up pin. New Day gets the win. That's good. New Day rocks. Moving on to the very last segment of the night, which is Bray Wyatt's promo. They've been building this up all night, showing Undertaker and Kane packages. I kind of seen this coming. I didn't know for sure if they were going to come out or not. But the Brothers of Destruction are back. Bray Wyatt basically comes out there, cuts a promo about how he has taken the souls of The Undertaker and Kane, and he has now consumed them, and their powers are running through his veins. They are in his blood. And then all of a sudden, we see a Kane and Undertaker promo package up on the Titantron. Then the fire shoots up from the corners. Then the gong hits, and out comes The Undertaker and Kane. They come down there. Bray Wyatt's the only one standing in the ring. The rest of the Wyatt family is nowhere to be seen. Kane and Undertaker get in the ring. They're staring down Bray Wyatt. Then all of a sudden the lights go off. The goes up on the screen. Then the whole rest of the Wyatt family stand on the aprons, Shield style. They're about ready to go ambush Kane and Undertaker. Then Bray Wyatt runs at him. Kane gives him one uppercut, knocks Bray Wyatt to the floor. Then they go after Harper and Rowan. Double choke slam to both of them. And they just destroy them. Then Braun Strowman gets in the ring. double clothesline to both Kane and The Undertaker. He's got him down. They set up simultaneously at the same exact time. Speaking of same exact time, I'm going to be uploading a video tomorrow of epic spots where me and my friend Just Nos 14 do epic spots, epic moves at the same time, simultaneously. But moving on. Kane and The Undertaker, they double choke slam Braun Strowman. Well, they don't choke slam, they just push him over the ropes because they can't choke slam Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman's too much of a force to be reckoned with, even though he's kind of a jobber. But they throw him over the freaking announce table. They take him out. Then they set their sights on Bray Wyatt. Rowan Harper get back in there. They try to help, but double choke slam to them again. They take him out. Then they set their sights on Bray Wyatt. Double choke slam to Bray Wyatt. The Brothers of Destruction clear the ring of the Wyatt goons. The bearded Duck Dynasty bastards are down. They cannot fight back. And Kane and The Undertaker walk out with their arms held high as the show goes off. Good ending. I'm just going to say this. I'm expecting the Wyatts to come out on top here. I don't know if Kane and Undertaker getting the advantage when it's 2-on-4 is the best idea, because now you can't really see the Wyatts winning against them unless they just go into the Survivor Series match 2-on-4 and still have an elimination tag. And then I can see the Wyatts using the numbers game to win that match. Because either way, the Wyatts just need to be put over at the end of this. But I was happy as hell that Kane and Undertaker got the pop here and got the upper advantage. Because that was good. They deserve that with the career that they've had. So, but other than that, great Raw tonight. Once again, thanks for the 7 new subscribers. If you're new to this channel, subscribe, of course, for all my Raw reviews, SmackDown reviews, NXT reviews, pay-per-view reviews, ESW reviews, anything related to wrestling. I'll review it except for TNA. So, other than that, make sure subscribe to the channel at Main Event Matt. I almost plugged my Twitter. At Main Event Matt, at Main Event _Matt if you want to follow me on Twitter. That too. That link might be in the description. I don't know if it's usually in the description. If it is, it'll be there. If not, then it's not going to be there. But and then of course my YouTube, Main Event Matt. Second E is always a 3. Subscribe to that. And other than that, guys, great Raw review, of course, like always. But other than that, I'm out.